From moments as unforgettable as this, or things like these.
This is going blind. What the yes. What the what an idiot.
We all know about his temper and hot-headedness when things don't go as planned, but how many can you truly remember? Let's see. To kick things off, we've got the 2020 Tuscan Grand Prix. Mercedes was in a whole completely different league all year.
Lewis Hamilton, 7th British Grand Prix victory, and it's win number 91. Records are there to be broken, said Michael Schumacher. Lewis Hamilton's done it now. Hamilton has more wins than any other driver in Formula One history, and he is not done yet.
The only one who could sometimes squeeze between him and Bottas was, of course, Verstappen.
Verstappen wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
In qualifying, as expected, both Mercedes locked out on the front row, with Verstappen in third. Just to show you how dominant they were, check out the huge time gap between Bottas and Verstappen, and then between Verstappen and his teammate Albon. It was like they were in 3 different categories that season. On Sunday, Verstappen was aiming not just for a podium, but to actually beat Bottas, and maybe even Lewis. And Verstappen made a beautiful start, but things turned around pretty fast.
No power!
Seconds later, he got his power back, but had already dropped to P11, so getting a podium was going to be close to impossible. Yet, the worst was still to come.
Carlos Sainz has been spun round, and there's even further trouble. Oh no, look! It's the Red Bull of Max Verstappen that's out and into the gravel, and for the second weekend in a row.
Full throttle, shifting gears, tried absolutely everything he could, but nothing worked, and the race was pretty much over for him.
Okay, got you.
I'm stuck. This is what you get with this fucking show, honestly.
And I can't blame him, to be honest. It was outside of his control, simply bad luck. However, I'm not sure who was truly at fault in this next one. All I know is things got heated real fast. That same year, Verstappen was going for a fast lap in Portugal during FP2 when he ran into Lance Stroll. And yep, when you bump into Stroll on track, you just know it's not going to end well.
And so there is the Williams of Lance Stroll going off.
And eventually Verstappen.
Oh, there's a massive crash, it's Brendan Hartley. Sebastian Vettel backs off.
Is that possible? Stroll is not looking where he's going.
Stroll had just set a fast lap, so you'd think he'd let Verstappen by, right? Stupid question. We're talking about Mr. Strulovic here.
Max Verstappen as Perez goes 10 fastest. Is that DRS as effective as Max wants it?
Oh no, they're going to crash! And they have! Oh dear.
What were they doing? It wasn't even a race, and Max was seriously pissed about it.
This is going blind. What is wrong with him? What
And funnily enough, Stroll's response perfectly confirmed his suspicions.
I didn't see anyone.
Turn the engine off, Lance, turn the engine off.
And of course, I don't think Verstappen was buying Stroll's excuse whatsoever, although after seeing some of Stroll's past performances, it could actually be true. The FIA saw it as a misunderstanding, which, well, was kinda true, so neither of them got a penalty. But even after the session ended, it was pretty obvious the Dutchman was still majorly pissed off.
So I don't know where I had to go. I was starting my lap, he just finished his lap, so I don't know, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's FP2, but it's just a shame that, we touched. It was just very unnecessary.
And Stroll was just doing his best to explain what went down.
I don't think he was expecting me to be on a second push lap, and I wasn't expecting anyone to be racing me into turn 1, so he let me through into the last corner, and then I expected him to take a gap, so I was busy looking at some things on my dash down the main straight, and once I looked up, I was just focused on the corner. I didn't expect anyone to be alongside me, and I don't think he expected me to be on a second push, so unfortunate end to the day.
But that was nothing compared to what went down at the 2024 Hungarian Grand Prix, where we truly saw the worst side of Verstappen. After dominating the early races of this season,
Max Verstappen, take back the top step. Eat, sleep, win, repeat.
which seemed like a 2023.2 season, Verstappen and Red Bull started to fade.
It's gone! It's gone!
The man who was trying to win 10 Grand Prix in a row for the second time in his Formula One career will not continue the run. A fire at the back of the car, the dreams of victory gone.
McLaren, Ferrari, and even Mercedes had been matching or even beating them lately. And while most of us couldn't have been happier, considering we hadn't seen any real competition since 2021, this obviously made Red Bull a little nervous. And it was all gonna boil over at the Hungaroring. In qualifying, with both McLarens locking out the front row, it was already obvious it was gonna be another tough weekend for Max. And it's not like Max just showed his frustration in the car.
Hard luck, that was a good effort.
My God.
But outside, he let everyone know just how disappointed he felt.
So yeah, it's just a bit of a shame. A little bit frustrated, of course, after all the updates on the car as well. You know, I was hoping for a little bit more, but at the moment, we still need to try and improve it further.
But I wish that was the worst of it, because during the race, the Red Bull driver was just out of control, getting angrier and angrier right from the start.
Lando Norris in second, Verstappen off the road as he rejoins, having gone off all four wheels.
I got forced off. I was ahead at the apex and he just opened the wheel, so I got forced off.
After that questionable move on the outside, he had to let Norris by, or he'd get a penalty. And that's when things really started going downhill for his race.
I think our recommendation is you let this go, we can talk about it later.
Why can't they not just say what they think and then we decide?
He's slowing down, they will switch positions.
From that moment on, Verstappen had officially lost it.
Okay, so you can just drive people off the track then.
And his race didn't get any better either, with the McLarens being far superior. He couldn't hold it in anymore, and his radio was catching every bit of it, and it just kept getting worse with every lap.
I'm -5 brake pads and the thing just doesn't turn. It's unbelievable.
Lambiase didn't even know what to answer. The frustration just kept building up inside Verstappen as he battled with Hamilton for the podium. If he managed to get third place, well, at least it would be something. But then, he truly lost it.
It's quite impressive how we let ourselves get undercut and just completely race.
That's some gentle introduction.
No, mate, don't give me that now. You guys give me the strategy, okay? I'm trying to rescue myself.
To climb back onto the podium, Lewis Hamilton is the driver in between him and third place. Trying to go around the outside of Hamilton, who gets an elbow out, and it's still Hamilton in third.
Did you leave the car set?
I think you were behind at the apex, Max.
Okay, whatever then.
Will he dive this time?
This time he gets there, he locks up and he makes contact with his old rival. Verstappen and Hamilton come together again, battling for the final place on the podium.
He moved under braking.
I'm not even going to get into a radio fight with the other teams, Max. We'll let the stewards do their thing. It's childish on the radio.
With all these mistakes, being so aggressive and venting over the radio like that, it honestly felt like Max from 2015 was behind the wheel, unrecognizable to the Verstappen we had been used to over the last few years. But we've seen this before, back in 2021 in Monaco. We all know that in Monaco, Saturday is the big day. With how tight the track is, getting pole pretty much means you've won. This was of course the year before Red Bull started dominating, so it was surprising to see Max battling for pole. However, Bottas took fastest in Q1.
Bottas now around Anthony Noge, the man who created this Monaco Grand Prix, the final corner, and it is the fastest time, a 1:10.9.
And Leclerc in Q2.
Here's Leclerc, goes fastest overall with a 1:10.5.
Then, on the first run in Q3, Leclerc set the fastest time.
And what a special pole this would be as he comes to the line now, crosses it and moves fastest overall.
While Verstappen was just over 2/10 behind. But on the second attempt, Max was going to give it his absolute all. With an 18.4 in the first sector, it looked like he could grab pole. When suddenly...
Oh! And it's going to come to nothing for Max Verstappen. He might have been setting the pace, but Charles Leclerc, the man on pole, has gone into the barriers. The red flag has come out with only 18 seconds remaining. That is it.
And while Ferrari mechanics didn't know whether to celebrate or not, once again Lambiase had to deal with Max's anger.
For sake, man. Oh, this would have been the fucking lap.
While everyone was watching Verstappen go for purple, nobody expected Leclerc to crash. But hey, that's Monaco for you. It wasn't the first time the fastest driver in qualifying crashed, whether on purpose or not.
Stake somewhere in the middle sector of this lap. 1 second
he's made
ago.
another one at the Rascasse Martin, straight on, missed the turn in.
Yeah, but that's going to spoil everybody else's lap too. The yellow flags are going to be out, and that's going to keep in pole position. I wouldn't be at all surprised.
When something like that happens in qualifying, at least there's still a chance to bounce back on Sunday. And karma got Leclerc bad. He didn't even start the race.
Ferrari confirm that it's a problem with the left drive shaft, which is impossible to fix in time for the start of the race.
And guess who ended up winning?
Max Verstappen leads the World Championship and wins the Monaco Grand Prix.
That is a fabulous drive, mate, and you're a Monaco Grand Prix winner.
Yes. Oh, nice race.
A whole lot of swearing for nothing. But having your race ruined is a whole different story, like what happened at Interlagos in 2018. This one is definitely a story for the history books. After qualifying 5th, Verstappen made an epic comeback on Sunday, climbing to 1st place and holding the lead.
Outside goes Max Verstappen on Kimi Räikkönen into turn
Down
one.
the inside is Max Verstappen, almost off the track, and manages to squeeze past Sebastian Vettel.
Swayze going to go left or right, down the left he goes. Bottas gives him room. Max Verstappen says thank you very much indeed. Hand side of Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen looks in his mirrors. Don't know why he was doing that, because Hamilton was alongside and then was passed.
Everything was looking great for the Red Bull driver, when, out of nowhere, on lap 44,
It's Max Verstappen, the race leader, and he has spun coming down the hill. Verstappen has lost the lead to Hamilton by spinning out.
And no, they weren't battling for the lead. If they were, I guess it would have just been a racing incident. The racing point was Esteban Ocon, who, on soft tyres and going faster, tried to unlap himself. But as you saw, it went really badly. He completely messed up Verstappen's race. Any driver would have been pissed, but knowing Max, you knew his reaction would be priceless.
What a idiot! What a idiot!
But that wasn't even the worst of it.
No, I know what to say. I hope I can't find him now in the paddock, because then he has...
And, of course, they ran into each other after the race, and Verstappen absolutely couldn't keep his cool.
So I think when you're a lap behind,
Calm yourself down for the moment, Max.
you should not be attacking the leader.
And when asked about what happened between them after the race, this is how Verstappen put it.
I don't really have a lot to comment on that, except that he was being a...
Meanwhile, Ocon was just trying to explain what happened without taking any responsibility.
You know, the first lap I stayed behind. The second lap the team said, oh, you can unlap yourself if you want. So I went around the outside, but yeah, clearly he didn't, give me enough space. Max, I was side by side, so I couldn't disappear, and then I saw he turned and we went to collision. But what I'm really surprised of is his behavior after the race. We went on the scale, started to punch me, wanted to punch me and stuff, and this is not professional.
And yes, the Frenchman got a 10-second stop-and-go penalty and a 3-point penalty on his super license. Verstappen was sentenced to 2 days of community service for pushing Ocon, and as you probably noticed, it's not easy being Lambiase. What do you even say when all you hear is...
What? Yeah, I'm stuck! Yeah, I don't give...
And I'm sure he remembers the qualifying round for Spa in 2023. Even though it was Red Bull and Verstappen's most dominant season, there were still some tense moments within the team, despite how smooth everything might have looked. After just barely making it through Q2 with a 10th place, Verstappen was visibly unhappy with how the team handled things.
With all of the skill that we've seen so far this year, Verstappen currently in the drop zone with a time that should be good enough as he comes across the line, but it's good enough for 9th. Charles Leclerc now will improve across the line, drops him down, and there are quicker cars behind. Verstappen at risk here for an almighty shock, and he's on the brink. Oh, Gasly and Magnussen let the world champion off the hook. We thought we could be in for a huge shock.
But you are through, Max.
Yeah, I don't give a f*** just execution.
Okay, and then when the track was 2 seconds quicker for your final lap and you didn't have any energy left, how would that have gone down? But you tell me what you want to do in Q3 and we'll do it.
Honestly, I find it pretty amazing how Lambiase managed to calm him down in that moment, but in Q3, it seemed like the team actually listened to Verstappen this time. He gave it everything he had and ended up smashing it.
Here he is across the line, car number 1, P1 for Max Verstappen in qualifying.
After securing the pole and with tempers cooled, Verstappen actually apologised this time. Well, in his own way.
Whoa, nice gap that. Well, at least we had a good Q3. And sorry to Pete for being so on the run.
And Lambiase's reaction was simply priceless.
Slowly getting used to it, Max.
With so many races, so much tension, and so many heated situations, many not even Verstappen's fault, it's normal to lose it every now and then. After all, drivers are just regular people like you and me. And I want to make clear I'm not bashing Max, nor am I a Lewis fanboy or whatever else people have been making up about me. But while most of these moments are sudden bursts of adrenaline, some people in F1 meticulously plan out their moves down to the millimeter. If you want to see what I mean, watch this now. And as always, thank you for watching.